Welcome to the portrait photography tutorial. There are different types of light effects in picture presentation, and there are also primary and secondary effects. In this lesson, let's get to know the types of light in photography. We divide the types of light in photography into 5 categories: primary light, auxiliary light, contour light, background light, and modifier light. I will introduce them one by one through shooting. The primary light is the main light component of photographic modeling, which is used to shape the form, contour, and texture of the subject. Now we've turned on a primary light. At this point, we can see the subject. The plaster bust has its outline and texture. Let's take a picture to see the effect. You can clearly feel that the difference between light and dark has been produced. At this point in the picture, the texture and outline of the subject has been well presented. This is the effect of the primary light. Next is the auxiliary light, also called secondary light, is used to supplement the primary light to improve the brightness and texture of the dark areas and adjust the contrast between light and dark of the subject. Diffused light from the sky, reflected light from the environment, light from the flash or reflectors, all of which can achieve the role of fill-in light and auxiliary light. Let's see the effect of 2 kinds of auxiliary light through the fill-in light of the flash and the reflector. First, we use the flash as the fill-in light and see the effect of the flash's auxiliary light. At this point, there will be contrast between light and dark on both sides. The role of auxiliary light is to supplement the dark area that the primary light misses. Let's use the reflector to see the effect of the auxiliary light. What we're seeing is that the effect of auxiliary with reflectors. These are the performance of auxiliary light by fill-in light. Let's move on to the contour light. Contour light is the light that outlines the subject, highlights the subject, and opens up the spatial distance from the background. Let's take a picture and see the effect of contour light. Well, now we can see that, with the contour light, the distance from the subject to the background looks more clear. It is worth noting that when the contour light is too close to the backlight, then multiple reflection may happen in the lens, and thus produce unwanted gray fog or light spots, especially when using some UV lenses with low light transmission. This situation will be more obvious. So we must use a lens hood for the contour light presentation. Removal of the UV lens can ensure the purity of the contour light. Next is the 4th type of light, background light. Background light is used to illuminate the environmental background, whose main role is to enhance the spatial sense of the background. Let's see the effect of the background light. This is the effect of the primary light plus the background light. It's worth noting that the background light is mainly used to illuminate the background. The direction of the light is towards the background, but not towards the subject. When we are using it, note that it's not quite the same light as the other types. Now then, we add some color films to the background light to see how it feels. Let's add a red film to see the effect. Then we'll use a blue film and see how it feels. Different color films will bring different environmental impact on the photo. Here we can see that the background light brings a good light feel for the photo. The last one is the modifier light, which is also called the effect light. It's mainly used to make up for the lack of light in the photo, or to modify the details of certain subjects, as well as highlighting and exaggerating certain parts, to adjust and beautify the image. Before we apply the modifier light, let's imagine that, what if the subject has an earring in the photo? To modify the ear, we can use the modifier light to emphasize a certain part. Then, let's add the modifier light and see how it performs. I've mounted a snoot on it. The light is rather narrow. More light is placed to the ear. Let's see the relationship between the primary light and the modifier light. Now we can see that the modifier light plays a role in making up for what the primary light lacks. so that we can feel more accurately about the image effect of a certain part. Different lights play their own roles. If we turn on the primary light, contour light, or background light, they all have their image effects. So let's briefly review what I've shared for you in this lesson. In this lesson, we've learned about the 5 types of light used in photography: primary light, auxiliary light, contour light, background light, and modifier light. Understanding the types of light allows us to better grasp the position of light and precisely control the different types of light in the photo.